Okay, so big welcome to the newest addition to the roster of Overwatch, Hammond the Hamster, or Wrecking Ball if you're boring and overly descriptive with your naming conventions. Hammond is apparently a super genius hamster from the same science facility located on the moon as Winston. When the super intelligent apes rebelled and destroyed the lunar colony, Winston escaped, and the little hamster that could crafted a homemade escape pod, attached himself to Winston's craft, and thus landed on Earth. More specifically, he landed in Australia in Junkertown, where he became a reigning champion in some sort of weird combination of Mad Max and Demolition Derby. So, what do I think of this new hero and his backstory? Well, I hate it. Okay, I'm being inflammatory. Let's just say I quite dislike him and consider him a missed opportunity for numerous reasons. Reasons such as, number 1, he stretches the credibility of the setting too much. Wait, stop. Let me play Nostradamus for a moment and predict your response. Oh, a super genius talking gorilla with a Tesla cannon is fine, but a hamster in a mech is too much. Actually, yes. Let me break it down. What do you think of when you see a gorilla? Big, strong, eerily human-like, potentially dangerous, powerful. You also probably get quick flashes of Planet of the Apes, Gorilla Grodd, and some other powerful ape-like characters. Now, what do you think of when you see a hamster? Cute, fluffy, funny, harmless. And you probably get quick flashes of the movie Bolt, or the movie G-Force. In which case, I'm sorry. The point here is that while Winston is probably the most outlandish character in Overwatch, a genius talking gorilla that leaps into the fray with an electrifying gun, it isn't that much of an absurd image since we already associate his kind with power and intelligence, and fiction often treats apes in a more serious and grounded manner. On the other hand, a hamster being actually dangerous is just plain hilarious and absurd. Yeah, I'm sure some people have been bitten in unpleasant places by one they can claw your eyes out, or hamster allergies are the leading cause of death in the world or whatever, but the juxtaposition of something as unthreatening as a hamster with the danger he actually poses makes the whole setting of Overwatch feel like one big farce. When you saw Reaper fighting and being outsmarted by Winston in the Museum and Rico cinematic, did you laugh and find it absurd that a spooky skull man is having trouble against a gorilla? Of course you didn't, since gorillas are actually really dangerous in real life. Now imagine Reaper or Doomfist struggling against Hammond the hamster. Even if he's in his bowling ball of doom, it still makes his opponents look like incompetent buffoons. It's like if Dr. Doom got defeated by squirrels or something. Reason number 2, he doesn't really have much story implication. Hammond appears to be a character who, from a narrative standpoint, is just there. He probably doesn't move the story forward, he doesn't give some insight into the world of Overwatch or even hint at things to come, aside from tilted support players. He didn't orchestrate the downfall of the lunar colony, he's probably not gonna be a member of Talon, and he doesn't even want anything to do with the Junkers of Junkertown, since he just sees his time spent there as mindless fun. Hammond just seems to have no place in the bigger picture, whether it be the reforming of Overwatch, Talon's plans of world domination, the Omnic's struggle for equality, or Sombra's plans to unravel some grand conspiracy. It's a real shame since new heroes are the primary source of lore and world building in Overwatch, and having another character with so little impact on the setting is pretty damn disappointing. Reason number 3, he's a rather bland personality. Again. Judging by his destructive tendencies and malicious look in this screenshot, I'm guessing he's a chaotic, mischievous little bastard, but then again that just comes off as quite neutral in relation to the other characters. Plus we already have 2 chaotic neutrals, thank you very much. And worst of all, he himself can't really speak, communicating only in high-pitched squeaks. Truth be told, when I first saw the little guy, I was hoping for him to have a Brain from Pinky and the Brain kind of voice, or maybe something along the lines of Tim Curry, something very serious, eloquent and malicious. Instead, it's Hammond's Mac Wrecking Ball doing the talking in a generic deep robot voice, emotionlessly telling us that
systems operating at maximum.
Aside from the few juxtaposed lines such as
look out below,
it really just feels very uninspired and real missed opportunity. Compare Hammond's lines to someone like Sombra, who shows so much attitude through her subtle threats while keeping an air of mystery around herself. Or Moira's cold and demeaning tone, really driving home the fact that she considers herself above most people and is a die-hard pragmatist. Plus, we already have an annoying character who communicates through high-pitched sound effects. Overall, I just think that Hammond does more harm than good to the established setting of Overwatch without adding anything new or interesting to it. I know it's a bit silly to be so worked up about the lore and story of a game that has such a disconnect between narrative and gameplay, but Blizzard themselves seem to consider it at least somewhat of a priority, hence the story cinematics, comic tie-ins, lore descriptions in the hero gallery, story implications in new maps and voice lines, all giving us new tidbits to piece together. I'd just rather have them introduce heroes who expand on the world and its consistency instead of redefining or straight up undermining it. He does look fun to play though.